and right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the boom, ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Boom, here comes the boom, ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live the best damn Cincinnati sports podcast. This side of your mom's house. My name's Santori Miles. We got the retired Bengal dad. How we doing? How we doing?
This side of what?
Your mom's house.
Oh,
Boom.
there you go. I'm doing good. I'm watching that video though that we play, and I'm surprised Von Bell didn't get a taunting penalty on that.
That's all right.
He turned and flexed
all right.
after that.
You know what? Fuck
That
it.
would have really screwed out the whole play
We
out.
have had so much crap from the Steelers for the last, ever, that we get one play. And I will live off of that one play forever. A-okay with it.
So what are we talking about here? We got Super Bowl, which was kind of a
Everybody says that. I like
It
defense.
was kind of
Well, you guys suck.
it was
Okay, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, we can start with the Super Bowl. We haven't talked probably since right before that.
we saw that Drake
again-
May can't handle pressure.
We saw that Drake May's probably not ready, if we want to start there. And it wasn't just on plays where he was pressured. There were times where he had more than enough going for him, and he threw a freaking lawn dart. Just
He kind of looked a little like that against the Bengals.
He did. I put something out
In
there
our
kind of
ferocious
tongue-in-cheek.
defense.
Yeah, I put something out there tongue-in-cheek like I do all the time. Are we surprised that the team could barely hang up 20 against the Bengals' horrifically, historically, atrociously bad defense, struggled against one of the best teams they played all year? No.
Not at all.
No, I mean, we saw him throw a pick six to Geno Stone. That man's going to be evicted from Cincinnati with pitchforks. And we let him not only get in the vicinity, he made a play and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I do think Drake May's a good quarterback. I don't want that, misconceived or whatever. I don't think he was ready. I think the Patriots have a very, very good foundation. I think they probably need to up the ante at wide receiver quite a bit and keep doing what they're doing because there is a lot to like. I mean, freaking Gonzalez, man. You hear every year that guy's one of the best, and the Patriots aren't somebody that I watch every week anymore. And that guy's a good ball player. The corner, number 0, He was everywhere. So they got a lot going for him. They got a lot to like. They got a ton of cap space. I think it was probably a good experience for Drake May in terms of understanding what that moment feels like now. But my God, he did not look good.
Well, you know who the moment was not too big for was that young coach McDonald.
No, he didn't care.
He had
was
his
ready to
foot
rock
on
and
the
roll.
gas, and he never let up. Well, he didn't let up until he was up by 21 or 28, and then you could obviously see he let up at that point.
Yeah. The pass rush, I mean, we were saying during the game, there were times where it was like it was so cool to watch a defense that knew what they were doing and executing at that good of a level when you could tell where they were like, we're just not really going to give it, 150% on this play. And then you could tell when they just dialed it up and win.
Yeah.
We got Kevin in the house. We have we got one viewer. We're
Here we
building
go.
our way back. We're building the empire back, so to say. But no, Mike McDonald.
It was
did
actually
you-
nice to watch two defenses that when they got in front of somebody, they actually tackled them.
Yep, there wasn't a whole lot of missed tackles.
Yeah.
Did you see the quote from Mike McDonald during the Super Bowl parade?
No.
They asked him about not winning Coach of the Year, and he had the Lombardi Trophy in his hand. He goes, "I'll take this one instead."
Yeah. He understands.
I like Mike McDonald. I hope he doesn't do anything stupid like some of these guys do when they start getting famous. But They got a good one in Seattle. They got a good GM. They got a great head coach. They got a great GM, first off. He doesn't get a whole lot of credit nationally speaking. If you're not familiar with how that guy runs the show in Seattle, first GM in the history of professional football to win Super Bowls with two different teams that he's put together. And I don't mean two organizations.
Do teams have GMs?
Yeah, it's a position of power that some teams use.
Oh.
You were a general manager at your store. Don't know what that's like, but I know one. You did it.
A little different.
But Seattle's general manager, I'm going to butcher his name. I think it's Schneider. Right?
It's Schneider.
Excellent GM. First GM in the history of the NFL to win a Super Bowl twice with the same team with two different constructed teams. And I know that sounds weird, but it's different head coach, different quarterback. 10 years apart, whatever it was. First
So
guy to
that's
ever
what
do
he's
that.
doing.
Yeah, he's done it twice. And he's lost one with them because they had the Patriots debacle.
Who was the other quarterback that won with him? Russell?
Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah. He won with Russell Wilson and Sam Darnold. Mr. Miles must be selling the hell out of some cars that Christmas every day at the Miles house. It is Christmas every day here.
Every day.
That tree hasn't been down since, because there's another one over there. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
There's one. Whoa, look at that sink. There's one. We've been cooking today. There's one over there by the TV that's been up since November of 24.
Has that got blue lights on it?
It's got the multicolored lights. So blue, red, green, purple.
All I see is blue.
Yeah, I like the blue lights on the tree. I like those. It's the technicolored lights or whatever it is.
Okay.
But no, props to Seattle. And God, they've got like a ton of cap space too. They've already paid their quarterback. They got a ton of cap space. They've got a great defense. A couple of them are free agents, so we'll touch on that here in a minute. But no, they just did it right.
Some
and it's
teams
nice
do.
to see teams. It's just nice to. We need to start putting Seattle in the talk of organizations that just do it right. Since 2005, 21 years, they've been to 4 Super Bowls. They've won 2 of them.
I just want to stop talking about the Eagles. Because all they do is turn their entire team over every year, and they still find a way. But everybody
Their
bitches about
GM
the Bengals
is-
not retaining people. They just churn through people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 2 different philosophies. It's just keep going, right? And I mean, we've seen Howie Roseman do it with with Jalen Hurts a couple times now. They've been there. Then we saw him do it in the Nick Foles, Carson Wentz era. I know you're tired of hearing about it, but he is much more of a Vegas gambler style GM, wheeling and dealing and trades and signings and just. There's not a whole lot of, he throws a lot of caution to the wind kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just goes after it. And then you've got John Schneider, who is more of a brick by brick approach. And that's kind of what the Bengals try to do, but they don't develop. So their bricks suck. The Bengals do it, but they do it with Lincoln
The
logs.
Bengals don't want to overpay for their brick either.
No, the Bengals do it with, the Bengals are building a brick house with Lincoln logs.
So Kevin wants to know, changing gears, who we're going to take at number 10. Who we want the Bengals to take at number 10.
Do we want to switch over to draft talk? We can.
Yeah, let's just switch. Let's just switch it up.
I know you've started to kind of look at a couple guys, and I'm proud of that. Typically you don't even come close to that conversation until like March. So you're a couple weeks early. So kudos. If I had my pick of who I would want at number 10, it would probably be Downs. And I know people keep hearing that, and I know there's a lot of, is he going to be available? It's a deep safety class. This is my draft philosophy. It's always been my draft philosophy, and I'm doing it, if I'm the GM, right? One, if I'm the GM, I'm fixing as much as I can before I get to the draft. Right? I'm going to get Caleb Downs. Period. But moving up. It might take some shifting things around. The Bengals have had a hellacious safety problem since letting Jesse Bates walk, and they let him walk over like $1 million difference on the contract. And it has cost them dearly several times over the last 3 or 4 years, whatever it's been. Go get your safety. I mean, how many times have you and I talked about, look at every great defense in the history of the NFL. What do they have? They've got safety. What's wrong with that? I like that comp. I think it's a good starting safety. I think you can do better, and I think you can do far worse. But Jordan Battle would start for me if I had a chance. I'd like Jordan Battle. I'm good with it. He tends to create turnovers. He tends to hit people hard. There is a level of, I don't want to say pissativity, but there is a level of aggression with Jordan Battle that I do like.
He just lost.
I would
it
go
when-
get Caleb
when,
Downs.
When Loveland caught the ball over the middle in the final 40 seconds for the Bears.
Yeah.
He lost his
I
pissificity or whatever you called it. Pissativity.
pissativity.
He lost it all.
I would find a way to make sure you get Caleb Downs. And I
Well,
will have done
if-
everything I can to fix things in the process before that.
If you can believe Duke Tobin and his comment, which I have no idea if you can believe in, about the Bengals are going to be definitely wanting to beef up that defensive line. I think it's Reuben Bain if he's there.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to go in the top 5.
To me, the most important thing this team can do is fortify the pass rush.
Mhm.
That should be priority one because it makes everything better.
Yep. You win your games in the trenches. But that's why I said, assuming I fixed everything first, I go get Caleb Downs.
Okay.
If the draft is tomorrow, which is the way everybody does these mock drafts because they forget that free agency and trades come first. If the draft is tomorrow night, or let's say it started at 8 o'clock tonight and the Bengals pick in 2 hours and the roster is what it is.
Did your stomach just turn when you said that?
No, because I would have a plan for that, and it would be Peter Woods. And that's assuming if Bain's not there. I've got 3 guys that I would like to have. Bain, Woods, and Downs. It depends on what my current situation is with the team. At the moment, I would love to have Bain. Because I think Bain is a little bit of that tweener, kind of like Shamar Stewart. I don't think Shamar Stewart's a bust just yet. I think that there's a lot to like there that we saw on tape over the final few weeks. And I think that Bain is in that same mold. He's not... I think he's kind of the opposite, actually. In terms of being a tweener and being able to move around and being flexible, they're the same mold. They're both very versatile players. Bain hits in the category of there's red flags on his stature, those kind of things. He's got like historically short arms, and I know that freaks a lot of people out. I don't necessarily care about it on the defensive line front because he's got great hands, and great hands make up for short arms.
I mean, did all those offensive linemen that went against him that got beat, were they saying, I can't believe he beat me because he's got short arms?
Well, they beat him because he's got quick hands, and that's something that will translate, and that is a great trait. Shamar Stewart, on the other hand, freak across the board, 99th, 100th percentile and everything, and had no production. So they're kind of the opposite. Bain had great production, and he's got limited physical traits. But he understands the position better, I think.
I would always
And I think if
take
you
the
pair
player-
those two,
I would always take the player that has the motor and the heart and might be lacking some stuff in physical abilities. I would always take him over the physical freak that just doesn't really turn it on all the way.
right. So I would take, if Bain and Downs were both there, and it's right now, I don't know who I pick. Because I know the trenches are the more important thing. In this, now I feel like I'm in the same conversation we had with Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell. I know the trenches are more important, but I don't think people realize how good Caleb Downs is. Caleb Downs is the best player in this draft, period. And I really would have to think about what the draft class looked like last year, but he would have been one of the best players in the draft last year. He's that good. I'm not going to say he's a generational talent because that thing gets thrown around a lot, but I definitely think he's a future Pro Bowler and potential multi-time Pro Bowler, and I think he would immediately be the second best safety in the AFC North because Kyle Hamilton's a freak. But they would use him the exact same way the Ravens use Kyle Hamilton. He's a glorified box safety who can play linebacker, nickel, and deep safety. You will move him around everywhere. Remember what they were kind of saying about Dax Hill is he can do everything?
Mm-hmm.
He is what they thought Dax Hill could be. And Dax Hill's found a nice little spot at corner. He's turned into a solid quality NFL corner, which thank God, because I didn't think we were going to get anything out of him. And I think you would really, really fix a lot of things because it falls under that he's a can't miss guy. And I don't want to ignore a can't miss guy. Especially when the D-line draft class is so deep this year. Then there's the inverse. You fix your trenches. It's a D-line deep class, and it's also a deep safety class this year. It's also a deep free agent safety class this year. So it's really going to depend how things shake out. I would be shocked if the Bengals don't try to get a couple or at least the one safety in free agency, and then everybody will go, oh, that means no Caleb Downs. That's fine. I like getting into the draft and not needing certain things.
It would be nice if they singled out the few things they need and knocked it out in free agency, and then they could just take, they always say, best player available in the draft.
It's an okay class free agent-wise for linebackers. It is not a good free agent class for defensive line. It is a good free agent class for safeties. You could fix safety and linebacker in free agency. And you could probably add a little bit of help on the D-line. There are a couple guys out there on the D-line in free agency. John Franklin Myers, Logan Hall, those two come to mind. How much are the Bengals going to be willing to pay? Who knows? But, John Franklin Myers had 8 sacks with Denver on like 500 snaps as an interior guy. They have missed that dearly. And that would be one of those guys that you could immediately plug in and go, okay, that problem's kind of fixed. And then it's, do you cut B.J. Hill? Do you cut T.J. Slayton? Do you keep all 3 of them? I doubt it, because that's a lot of money that you start wrapping up in that one position. I've got a list of guys that I would love to draft at number 10. There's a good to fair chance one of them is going to be available, unless they all go, right ahead of it, which seemingly happens to the guys I want every year. Walter Nolan, they go 1 pick ahead. But yeah, Peter Woods, Reuben Bain, Caleb Downs, all guys that I would like. And we'll put this out there now. If for whatever reason they don't take Caleb Downs or they don't get the opportunity to pick him, because he might go in the top 5, and moving up from 10 to 5 takes a lot of draft capital that they don't quite have the luxury of right now. There's good safeties in this draft. The kid from LSU is great. I really like. I think his name's like Halsey or something. I wish Dale was here for this. He would know exactly who I'm talking about. The safety from LSU is fantastic. I hope that all makes sense. That's a lot of ramblings, but there's so many unknowns at the moment.
Well, let's talk about a few things that are probably more known or things that should happen. Let's talk about who shouldn't be here. We know Geno Stone is gone. We know that. Cam Taylor-Britt needs to be gone. I don't know if he is yet, but he needs to be gone. I hope they don't linger around with him like they did with the receiver.
It's such a shame because Cam had such a – I wouldn't even say he had a chance to be great. He was great at one point. He was really, really – he was on the forefront of being one of the best corners in the NFL. We were sitting there at tailgates going, he is staring a $100 million contract in the face. He had everything right in front of him. And I'm not going to get into speculation of what's going on or who he's hanging out with or any of that crap.
Well, he obviously went down the wrong path.
It didn't work out. And it's a shame because I really liked Cam.
He's got to be gone. I don't want them pussyfooting around with him like they did with Burton. Just launch him. Get rid of him.
Well, they
Trey-
don't have
Trey
he's just a
Hendrickson.
free agent.
Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Henderson needs to be gone.
Yes. No, under no circumstance do you re-sign this man.
No, and there were rumblings of it, and then it was in a national article the other day, and I want to read the national article because
That was from Albert Breer, right?
it was from Albert Breer nationally, and I don't like repeating rumblings that you hear in Twitter Spaces. When it comes from Albert Breer, pretty damn good chance it's accurate. I'd be pretty surprised if Trey Hendrickson ended up back in Cincinnati next year, Breer wrote. The Bengals gave him a big raise up to $29 million last year and only got 7 games out of him. And there were real questions on how much he did to push through injuries, particularly when juxtaposed to how maniacal Joe Burrow was trying to return. That's a business professional journalistic way of saying he quit. He could have come back. The rumblings were he could have come back and said, "No, I'm done with this team. I'm out." The Bengals did not have to give him a pay raise. The Bengals did not have to go through all of the crap with his holdout. They bucked up. They gave him a pay raise. Should they have given him a real contract? Probably. But hindsight being 2020, and I know this is not good because it proves them right. It worked out for him. Because he bitched and moaned and held out, and I know what I'm worth, and I need this, and I need that. And then he got the money and ran. He collected a check for the final 4 games. That is in a national article. And that is something that has been circling around the Twitter sphere in Cincinnati for a while now. And this is from a guy who, I just want to set my family up. He turned down $28 million a year. He might not ever see that kind of money again. I know his market is somewhere around 25 to 30 million. But if you're a GM and you just watch this guy quit on a team, how likely are you to give him a 3-year, $90 million contract?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, as grateful as I am for the things that Trey Hendrickson did for when he was here, and I hate this because there's a lot of times that athletes in the front office end up burning the bridge toward the end of their tenure somewhere that didn't need to be burned, and we can add that to the list of ones that happen. And it's, you know, a couple of them are at fault. You know, the Bengals didn't treat him right. He definitely didn't treat the situation right. And then when everything was supposed to be smoothed over, he takes the money and doesn't come back from injury when could have very well come back.
Yeah, I got no use for him.
He needs to be gone.
Yeah. Does DJ Turner get an extension before Project Game Day Draft Day 2?
No.
No?
He'll get one before the start of the season, and the Bengals will make it painful, and I'll get upset. It won't be structured right, and then they'll tout themselves and said, "Look, we paid a guy early," and they'll make it the most tooth-pulling, gruesome, awful process the way that they do it. They will extend him. He will be here. It will be a pain in the ass.
Maybe they'll surprise us. And maybe it'll be smooth and early, and you'll be, what happened?
The last time
We really
I
need a
was
what
surprised-
happened moment going into this, you know, into free agency and everything.
The
We
last
need
time
something
I
like
was
that.
surprised was the year after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The start of the 2022 season when they got Karras and Kappa within about 45 seconds of the bell ringing, and everybody went, "Wow, that was a quick negotiation," because we
Right.
know they cheated the system a little bit, and that's not like them at all. And we haven't seen it since. It's been almost half a decade. I want to get to one of Crip's comments here. Mr. Miles, I bet all you want, I'll bet you a Tudor's breakfast that the Bengals draft Ted Karras' replacement. Maybe. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one. I've got.
I
other
thought they
things
did
wanna
that
take care of
already
first.
with
Matt Lee.
yeah. And what happened to him? He looked good for a couple games, and I guess what they saw didn't look good to them.
Yeah. So Matt Lee, I don't know where they're technically at with him at all. I mean he would come in and play like the extra lineman role periodically. but he didn't register anything. It wasn't great. He did it the year before in 24. He didn't do anything this year. So who knows? I'm pretty sure he's gone. I don't think he's.
We got any juicy things that are going to be coming up for vote for any changes, rule changes, anything going on that you've seen? Is the tush push going to be on the chopping block again?
I don't know when they are.
It's when they ever have the
meeting
owners
again.
meeting. That's when they do
Yeah,
that.
when that is.
Well, it's probably after the March 15th, start of the new year.
I heard a couple of these. Because Florio was talking about them.
Well, they're going to do something about determining a catch again. I know that.
Yeah, they said, and this was something I absolutely despise, is they were considering putting an official in the sky that can put blatant flags down if they're missed by the officiating crew.
And all that's going to happen is you're going to be so excited as a fan that there's no flags on the field, and 15 seconds later, there's going to be a flag.
Yeah,
You're never going to be able to enjoy the moment.
They're talking about missed personal fouls, specifically face masks. I mean, I can think of about a dozen plays that we would have benefited from it because Joe Burrow gets pimped slapped in the face twice a game and nothing ever happens from it. But I don't like that.
No, I don't like anything that happens after the whistle. I mean, if you didn't see it, you didn't see it.
There could
The
be
other
a big
thing that's
rule
going to happen
change
is
that-
if they did something like that, there's going to be something incredibly obvious, and we're going to say, so we've got a referee now in the sky looking at this, and we see it on TV, and they still didn't do anything about it?
See, I don't mind this. I think if a team wants to bankrupt themselves, they can. That's their prerogative. One of the things that they are potentially thinking about trading is trading draft picks up to 5 years down the road.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't care. If somebody wants to gamble on a draft pick 5 years from now, I might not even have a team in 5 years. I might not be the GM in 5
Yeah,
years.
you might
What do
not
I
be the
give a
GM. Why wouldn't you?
What do I give a shit about a draft pick half a decade from now? You mean to tell me I can get a star quarterback for a draft pick in 2032? Sign me the fuck up. Let's do it. I'll worry about that 5 years from now. I mean, the landscape of the NFL changes so much in 2 years. What do I give a shit about 5 years? So, who knows?
What else we got? Eugenio Suarez.
I was gonna say we could, pivot over to the Red Legs here.
I mean, that's the biggest news of the offseason for the Reds.
I love Suarez. It does not move the needle much for me for the Reds.
Oh, it's going to help.
It's
What
gonna
really
help.
helps is if they do the thing that Lance McAllister keeps saying, no, no, no. If they can get Castellanos very, very inexpensively, absolutely.
Nick
Because
Krall already
as
said
long
no
as
to
they
that
can
today,
control
by
his
the way.
attitude, and he was happy when he was here.
Except
for that.
Did you hear me shut you down real quick?
What'd you say?
They already asked Nick Krall about it, and he said no.
This team doesn't want to win.
They
just
said,
don't
I don't
win.
know. They said, I don't know if we have a spot for him on this team with the guys we have. Really?
Really?
Who's your right fielder?
Uh-huh. Well, it's Marte.
Marte?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's he done to solidify that I can't move him around?
I don't know. He's never had a season like Castellanos had for us.
Who's my left fielder?
That I don't know. It's going to
Okay,
probably be
can I put-
Steer.
Okay. It's probably Steer. We think Sal Stewart's going to play first. You're an injury away from shuffling all three of those guys around and going, fuck, we've lost power.
Well, and then you got to
Go
figure out
get
whatever
it.
you're doing with Benson and Belday.
Yeah, go get a cheap bat that can hit you 15 to 20.
Can we just get
What's the
Castellanos
problem
and just
with
cut
that?
Belday?
I don't know.
Somebody's
I've
going
never
to scoop.
under.
Somebody's going to scoop him up, and he's going to hit 25 or 30 home runs for somebody, just like the way we discarded Suarez. We're kind of like thumbing our nose at Castellanos. Same thing's going to happen. Castellanos may have an attitude. That guy can play a game, play baseball. He can really play.
I don't understand the mentality of, oh no, we have too many ball players. You can't.
No.
Depth wins championships.
Yeah, the
They have
Dodgers don't
zero
ever say
depth.
we got too many.
The Reds have zero depth.
Right.
What happens if Friedel goes down in center field?
Marte, they're going to move him to center. Then they'll,
Okay,
put Benson in right.
Great.
And then you're back to a
want-
team like 3 years ago.
And then I'm back to fucking 220 and 187 instead of having Castellanos out there.
Yeah.
If you truly can get him for that league minimum of 780 is what they're throwing out there. That should be the single biggest no-brainer, one brain cell, doesn't need to think about it decision in the history of Major League Baseball.
You know how
got a
easy
team-
that decision is? That's just as easy as the Bengals signing Risner, and they haven't done that yet.
Mhm.
It's the same
You've
thing.
got it. You've got a team that you know, and I think you would agree with me because you've watched more than enough baseball, and I've watched it for about 25 years religiously at this point. This pitching staff can take you through the playoffs. It can get you there. It can fight in the playoffs. Can it win a World Series? Maybe.
They don't have enough offense to win a World Series.
The issue with the team last year was they didn't have enough offense.
Mhm.
So they went out and signed a 35-year-old power hitter who you hope to God doesn't decline. And then you've got another power hitter who liked playing here, who's basically free, who they went to.
So you got Castellanos, who had 72 RBIs last year, only played half of the final 25 games of the season, was upset, and he still had 72 RBIs, which probably would have put him, I don't know, maybe in third place on the Reds. RBIs is such a massive statistic in baseball, and people go, no.
If Terry Francona is the manager I hear he is, then he can handle Nick Castellanos.
Sure.
That shouldn't be an issue.
So we'd rather
And
have
guess what? If it blows up in your face, you're out $700,000. You are willing to have Moustakas, Candelario, all these guys blow up in your face. You are willing to gamble and give Martinez $22 million fucking dollars. And
you
you're
won't-
not
you won't
willing to
give
give a
Castellanos $1 million
legitimate
bucks.
power bat $1 million?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, guys. Thank God Phil's in charge. We're day one into Phil Castellini, and he can't figure out how to get a free power bat when it's dangled in front of him. Thank God he's good at selling bananas or whatever the fuck it is, because he has no idea what a baseball team looks like.
I really don't think he's good at anything.
Oh my God.
Why can't we get him on the show and have him try to tell us where else you're going to go? Well, I could light him up for about 20 minutes.
Listen here, bud. If I was gifted a Major League Baseball franchise, I wouldn't do nothing.
Right. Him and Mike
Like-
Brown are going to duke it out for the most hated owner in town.
I think I said to you earlier today, he looks like a super villain from like a comic book.
Yeah.
He's just got the slicked back hair and the big jaw. There's always kind of been the joke that the Castellinis have mafia ties. It wouldn't surprise me if they do. We know the mafia's there. We know it played a relevant role, especially in Ohio.
Careful now.
We know it's typically Italian.
Careful where you're going now.
Would it surprise you? Because he just looks like a mob boss. He just looks like a
Usually
sleazy
I'm the one
piece
that
of
makes
shit.
statements like that. I'm just going to just shut that one down.
He looks like a sleazy piece of shit.
He does look sleazy. I'll give you that.
All right,
He
we'll talk
doesn't
about
seem-
the mafia.
He doesn't seem very bright to me. He certainly doesn't know how to market his team. He doesn't know how to talk to the fans.
No,
if I'm assuming he had a hand in putting the team together over the last several years with his father.
Great.
And if he did, he's not very good at that either.
Nope. We're doomed.
His brother, who was his brother? This guy, this is Phil we're talking about right now, right? That's the new owner.
Yeah.
His brother seemed to have a clue, and I'm trying to think what his brother's name was. Was it Bob Jr.?
It's Bob Jr. or Bill.
But Mike, I mean, that guy, he wanted to win. I mean, he would converse with me through Messenger on Facebook. This guy wanted to win. He was a nice guy, and he really understood the anger and the passion of the fans. He got it. This Phil Castellini, though, I don't know what his deal is.
He's just a douchebag.
They'll lose enough money eventually where he's just going to have to sell it. That's all that's going to happen. Then
Well,
who knows?
and
Who buys it?
that's the route baseball is going with the TV contracts. They're not the small market teams with the way they're losing money left and right.
Oh yeah,
they're
they're
not gonna be able
starving
to
them out.
sustain.
They are starving them out.
Well, and I know everybody goes, "Oh, they're not losing money." They are. The TV contracts are getting real razor thin.
Well,
And the
that
Reds are not a
Cardinals
team that
contract
makes
I
money
saw,
on-
that was really bad.
Well, the Reds are not a team that's going to make money on merchandise and ticket sales and everything like, the Yankees or the Dodgers or anybody are. They rely on the TV contract.
So I
And
believe
TV
the
contracts
Yankees
are getting cut in half every year.
Yeah, I think the Yankees TV contract for their local thing is over $300 million that they get.
Yep. A year.
Where the Cardinals about 6 years ago was $70 million, it's now down to 15.
It's down to, like 15, 20.
So I mean, the Dodgers or the Yankees are getting 20 times as much money than the St. Louis Cardinals.
And the Cardinals are
And
what I consider a very professional organization that does
They
a lot
are.
of things right. They've struggled recently, and I think they've struggled recently because their TV axe is going through.
So man,
mean,
I have no doubt now the Reds definitely are it's a poverty situation. It truly is. But it doesn't. So when you got a chance to get Castellanos for nothing, why aren't you doing that? That's what doesn't make sense. What are you afraid the guy's going to rock the boat a little bit? He's going to pout a little bit? Okay.
Right.
It's not like we haven't seen that stuff before.
Right.
I mean, he took a chance on Puig.
Right.
What do you got to
Freaking
lose?
Homer Bailey, who is a pissant.
Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They don't make the playoffs? Yeah, okay. Nobody's going to lose sleep over that. Nobody ever
Now you're
expected
gonna
them to
lose.
really do
You're
it.
just gonna miss the playoffs with a little attitude, which I would prefer. I can't stand when we lose and everybody's like, "It was a good year." I want
Yeah.
to see somebody lose and punch a brick wall. All right, I'm gonna bat for that guy.
All right, what else we
All right,
got?
well,
I know it's the winter time. Not much
Nothing
happening.
really. We've hit 38 minutes. We've talked a little free agency, a little draft, a little baseball. The Bearcats don't deserve a mention.
No,
And,
they did win by 20-something points over Kansas State the other night, which surprised me.
Great.
They've actually had back-to-back wins, I think, of 20-plus points or more.
Well, now they're gonna
It's
have
too little,
back-to-back
too late. It
losses.
doesn't really matter.
Now they're gonna have back-to-back losses like they had against West Virginia, where they get like a 15-point lead with 8 minutes to go and fall
Yeah,
apart.
no. Boy, it just reminds me so much of the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
What else we
All
got on
right.
here?
That's nothing. We're
done?
done. We're good for the night. We appreciate the three of y'all that decided to watch tonight.
Hey, next
gonna
week
start-
next week it'll be 4, and here we go.
We'll be getting back up to, we'll throw Dale on here one time once we get close to the draft time, and it'll just we'll get the draft whisperer on here.
All right. Well, good
Thank
show.
you, everybody. And as always, thank you to everybody who's always supported us along the way.
Yep.
We don't really do the sponsorships too much anymore, but I'm always going to say thank you to Brimminghorn and Midwest Best and Chop Shop and Strip
Coffee.
Coffee and all the guys that have always helped us along the way. And maybe there'll be some things soon, but I'm always going to run all the promos down there for all those guys because they've been here for 4 years with us, and I appreciate it. So long. Good night.